G'day fellas and welcome to a Beyond All Reason replay cast. We're here watching some of the world's best players play Beyond All Reason, and I gotta tell you what, I'm looking forward to this game. We've got some incredible talent in this game. Let's take a look and see who we've got as the team captain with a skill of 38 true skill rating, playing as the arm. We've got Tabesh, and on the north side of the map in the color red, playing as the arm as well, as you would expect, we've got Operator, team captain in the north. So just rounding out some of our talent here, there are many people that you will recognize. If you've been watching on Twitch, you'll know Professor Bar, you'll know Baron, but you might also know Recon. He doesn't really stream on Twitch, but of course he's from Age of Empires 4, so he's a pretty big part of the community. There's also LSR over on the other side, so quite a few different personalities in this game. And we gotta turn that music up, turn that sound up. So this one was actually sent in by Professor Bar, so I'm going to give him a shout out if you'd like to check him out over on Twitch. I'll leave a link over in the description where you can watch him live. I know that he's French, and he lived in Canada, but he's back in, I think he's back in France now, not 100% sure. But you can see, actually, yeah, he's back in France. The flag is French now. That's cool. I didn't realize it live updated. I was thinking of making a Smurf account and like putting it in somewhere that people would never recognize. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't even want to say a country that people won't recognize. New Zealand. Yeah. Good luck ever realizing what flag you're up against when you're up against New Zealand. So let's talk a little bit about what we've got going on today. So just the classic, all that glitters. A little bit of Rovers or Rascals heading out already, coming out from Professor Bar, nice and early on the front line. Now, typically, when you play this map, you've got your front line, you've got your back line. You would be familiar with it if you've watched my videos before. This map often features. And so, gradually, there's going to be this push up towards this central line. So, you can see that there's these big 3.2 mexes that are in the center. These are the key ones that you really want to be fighting over and also that you want to be denying from your enemy. So, we're looking to see how these two teams go about doing it. On the south side, though, expect to see a lot of tech coming out. LSR, he is one of the best techers in the game, I would say that. He created the textbook on teching. This guy's got his own YouTube channel, and he is, well, let's just put it this way. I've referenced his videos many a time. I think there's a classic one on there, 135 APHIS in 45 minutes, something like that. It's on DSTR, a map that I don't really... What is this all about, LSR? We're not in the mood to finish our metal extractors, apparently. Or is the commander going to come down and do it? I think that might be the case. Yeah, he's moving back for the nano. That might make sense, because you can see he's floating quite a bit of energy, so he comes back in and fixes that up. But let's check back in over on that central line as some blitzers make their way out over here. We've also got more blitzers. Obviously, vehicles are a big part of playing frontline on this map, especially for these open lanes. For your more closed-off area, like what we typically see from this. I don't know what to call this. Some people call it canyons. Some people call it caves. I kind of like caves. It feels a bit like caves. But I definitely feel like bots are a lot stronger over in caves, just because there's not really much you can do to run through here. Like, if someone puts down, you know, a couple of the lightning turrets, it's all over Red Rover. Don't even try a run by. It's just not going to happen. But, you know, the early artillery is really nice, though. So if you can get a couple of those off an ally or something, that always really helps. We do see now over in the north, a little bit of a raid coming through. We'll ride on board with the Southside team and just see exactly what they see as this raid continues to come through. So you can see him trying to fend off these units coming through in Incisor. Is that what they're called? Yeah, Incisor. They're pretty tough, these tanks, but definitely the blitzers are much stronger. But not a whole lot of damage done back here. I definitely would say if you manage to sneak 3 blitzers into the backline, you'd hope that they do a bit more damage than a max. We'll ride on board now on this south team once again, and we can see the T2s are coming through. Pretty early T2 as well, and goes with a double construction turret very, very early to be doing this. I'd be surprised if he's able to get this up. Gonna have to definitely reclaim these solar collectors. He's trying it without the comm being killed as well on the 2 construction turrets. You know, I'm a stickler for details. I reckon he's going to be stalling out a while on that bad boy right there, but we'll see exactly how he goes. You can see he's not doing too bad on it, I'll be honest. But let's check in over on that east corner as well. We've got Rage here, who is beginning to assist with some shell shockers, which is normally the most common thing that you see from this position. Is this position will come up and help these 2 frontline positions. It doesn't always happen, but it is quite common. And now David going to be looking to push out from the caves. Both players have managed to secure up their 3.2 mexes. We'll take a look over towards the center of the map, and their 3.2 mexes have been sealed up. And so it looks like there are even Stevens fights everywhere. No one's denied anybody the 3.2. Often you can see early leads coming out when people deny those mexes. And look at this. We've got some Finks coming through right now. A huge scouting party coming through. I say Finks. They're called Finches. You can see Dariesta back here ready to blow. But over on the backside, you can see vehicle plants coming out as well for the North team as well. So we may have, in fact, I'll let you know right now, we do have a cheese strat coming out. That is correct. It's not quite often that you see it, but take a look at what we've got right now. This is an incredible cheese that is going to be coming out. Now, the word cheese gets thrown around a bit. You know, what's a cheese? A cheese is a strategy that typically your enemy doesn't scout. They don't really know that it's coming, and then as a result, you just overwhelm them with whatever it is that you're doing. You know, if you're from StarCraft, you'd be familiar with, you know, like the proxy. Back in my day, it was like the proxy gateway. Was the cheese, you know, the pylon on the lower ground, the gateways on the high ground, that sort of thing. But, you know, they were the good old days. If you're talking about Age of Empires 4 and talking about cheesing, like, really, there's not a whole lot of cheese in Age of Empires 4. But this could definitely go up there when it comes to qualifications for the cheese, because as you can see, instead of the backline teching up, there's no eco here at all. Skadoosh is going into basic T1 vehicles. He's making only brutes. We take a look at Operator. Operator doing the exact same thing, making only stouts. And now we actually do see one of the players is teching. It's Dariesta, who's going to be teching. And we'll check in over on that corner. And of course, we do have the vehicles. And look at the amount of brutes that are coming out here. So these guys are kind of hiding their vehicles. And you can see, even up towards the front, a whole bunch of Operators' tanks are just chilling out for the moment. And remember that behind this, right, your enemy team, they're just doing what they always do. When it comes to glitters, you know, the most common thing that you have is the front lines that fight up against the front lines, the back lines that like to tech. And speaking of teching, look at LSR right now. He's bought the T2 construction bot. He's a happy camper right now as he is getting all of his advanced maxes up. And let's take a look. I want to count exactly how many windmills he's got here, or wind turbines. He's up to 56. I think that's right. Yeah, 56. So he's probably just going to be heading straight into APHIS off this. I think that's definitely the right call, especially with this. The main issue that if you go from wind directly into APHIS, if your wind stalls, you're donezo. It's not even close. And that's part of the reason why I don't like to go wind into APHIS. I prefer to go wind into fusion, because if you take a look at the numbers, like, it's a little bit less, like 26,000 energy versus 48,000 energy. I mean, realistically, it's slightly less than double. So it's not a huge difference here. The other option that you've got is advanced solar, which I definitely, if you're playing core, like 100%, I support. Even, oh, I just realized it's core. So he's got the core construction, advanced construction bot, but he's got the ARM basic one. So he's got the worst of both worlds in that regard. I say the worst of both worlds. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, because I do remember the APHIS is quite cheap. For the core compared to the ARM guys. And there you can see the APHIS coming down. Look at this timing coming out from LSR. So for anybody wondering, the fastest way that you can actually get an APHIS solo, and I'm doing those little, you know, those little quote unquote, those air quotes, is if you buy a T2 from somebody. Because if you buy a T2 from someone, then you don't have to get the lab out. And then because you're not getting the lab out, you can invest all that build power into wind, or invest it into, you know, metal or energy converters. So there's all these different options for you. So that's you know, it's definitely the right way to go if you've got an ally that is teching. Probably something I should look into a little bit more. The only thing is that you need a reliable ally, and obviously he's going to have a reliable ally here in Forever. Both of these guys rated pretty damn high. I guess you know, from my position, they're pretty damn high. I think I'm like, what, true skill rating 28 or something like that. So these guys are all doing pretty well. But let's ride on board over on that north side and see how they're doing as Skadoosh up in this top corner. There is no sign of an APHIS up here, my friend. In fact, only the first advanced solars are coming out, and here is the push making his way up to the front. We've got Baron, who's going to be doing a little bit of a retreat. Operator now also coming up the front as well. You can see the 3.2s have been knocked out, so he's going to have to make sure he puts that one back in. Professor Barr also going to be pushing in, and we do see those tanks coming up the rear. A lot of units, actually. You can see Trash Panda here having a little bit of trouble up against what seems to be... Oh, no, it's a Guardian. I thought it was a couple of the Mortys. What are they called now? The Mortys? They're called the... I can't remember what they're called. They're these ones over here. Hold on. Let me... There you go. The Sheldons. Sorry. The Sheldons. It's an interesting name. I guess it makes sense, right? Sheldon, it's a name, but then it's also like they're shelling you. So it's pretty cool. But now we've got what might be the cheesiest strategy you could probably go for on glitters. I mean, other than like a 23-minute Ragnarok, which, I mean, but it is coming. I will tell you guys that much. It is coming. This is definitely up there for cheese. And so you see now, on the top side, Trash Panda has said it's too late, or it's so late, rather. And look at the size of this push. It's absolutely massive. Can you imagine dealing with this at 10 minutes? The only way I can imagine dealing with this, cloak the commander, somehow manage to get him around this area, and just boom that bad boy up. That's it. Like, you've got to take out... How many tanks are we talking here? You're talking about, like, 80 tanks that are coming through, looking to just rampage over the base. And Tabesh is here with the commander. Orange State also got the commander ready to go, so you could see some D-guns, but keep in mind these brutes, they're pretty mobile. The turning circle's not the worst on them either, so if they get too close to the commander, they can always back away, and you can see right there, Orange State looking like he wants to come in for a D-gun, just keeping on the edge of the radius. Those tanks are doing it at the same time, looking to run down onto this south side. LSR, you can see the commander lying in wait. He hasn't blown this comm. He's ready to take them all out. And we can also see a couple of air bombers coming in by the looks of it. Yeah, some bombers coming through, some whirlwinds. LSR looking to try and come down and cover. Commander going to be revealed, but not able to do it. The APHIS still not yet up. You can see it's sitting at 80%. The consequence of going through that APHIS and not going into fusion now, you can see that he is really starting to struggle. Everything is just paused at the moment. The beamer comes up. Beamer going to be looking to hold on a little bit longer. At the same time, towards that front, more and more units coming through. Second beamer going to get thrown down on the back line. Beamer are definitely a solid pick for defense here. I will also compliment LSR on the fact he's spread away all of his wind turbines, so they're not going to be chain reacting. But you can see once those brutes will make their way through and start taking out all of this construction turret, it's going to be really difficult, but you can see that he manages to keep a couple of them alive. A couple pounders going to be coming through over towards that east side. Huge push coming in on the air player as well. Now Choice is really starting to look like he may have made the wrong choice as he comes through, and he is just struggling at this point. At the same time, towards the front, Trash Panda up the rear. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You wanted it, you saw it. That's how you take them down. Now, I definitely don't advocate this strategy as a backline player, as a guy who likes to sleep for 35 minutes before I get myself ready for the game. I do not advocate for this strategy. I'm much more of like, hey guys, would you mind booming as well? But Rage going to try his best to hold on here. The D-gun's coming out. He's going to be careful. He's going to D-gun the enemy troops, but when he does it, he takes out his own advanced mechs, takes out the energy, and that's going to be it. Good game getting called. Players now leaving. David on the front line going to be going down. Everyone is going down. And LSR, the bastion of economy in the corner, the last remaining hope for the South team, will be going down very, very shortly as all of these units make their way into the base. The APHIS comes up, and with that, you've got yourself a big, beautiful target, my friend. And LSR just says, damn, this unit strategy is too good. Boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. And I mean, LSR, that's just it, man. You got to make units, dude. You can't be sleeping for 13 minutes. What do you think this is? This ain't the low league, sir. Oh, geez. And now a little bit of a counterattack coming out here. You can see Rage saying, all right, don't worry, guys. I'm going to do it, but there's too many blitzers out here. There's not a single chance in hell. And you can see, oh, gosh. The APHIS catapulted him up the damage. And at the same time, Operator now going to throw down the bot lab in the base. Just the ultimate nail in the coffin here. He's setting up base camp, and that's it. Good game going to get called. A nice quick one for you, ending at 13:37. No better time than that to end. I guess you could probably end it at 4 minutes 20. Be a bit of a short game, though. And that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. So a very, very quick one. How do you feel about that game? Was it cheesy? Was it a little bit more of an interesting strat? I don't think it's a cheese. To be honest, I don't think it's a cheese. I think it's very, very fun. And at the same time, I'm curious how you'd go about dealing with it. Obviously, the enemy team scouted the vehicles, and to me, that would have been a big trigger. Like, to be honest, I mean, I'm probably not looking at the enemy base. I'm too focused on my macro. But, you know, anybody who's slightly better than me would have been like, hold on. 1 vehicle lab, 2 vehicle labs on the back line in the eco positions? That ain't Falco. Anyway, that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll leave it there, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.